Hey everybody, it's Wolfie or Sarah again, making another video by the request of Girher for how to pronounce the names of the characters in TGP and the origin of the story. And I'm wearing a hat because I may or may not have taken a pair of scissors to my own hair, and that may or may not have been a good idea. It's kind of short, I don't know, it's weird, but I'll get used to it, I guess. So we'll start off with the characters' names. Connor, Dagaz, Corrigan, Jin or Belinus, Letty, Lewin, Morgan, Patrick, Sean, Senna, Silver, Tall, Zygor, and Orez. So yeah, that's how you pronounce the names of all the characters that we have so far in the comic. Also, I have to apologize again, it's a little dark, I realize. It's a little bit past midnight, so it's a little dark, but yeah. So the origins of the story, I do talk about this occasionally, that initially I started the comic with no real intentions other than I had just gotten a Wacom tablet and had no idea how to use it, had never used one before, been drawing with a mouse previous to that, and no junk on mouse drawers, but I hate it. For me, it sucks, I'm awful at it. But I didn't know how to use the tablet and I wanted to learn, and I always wanted to do a comic, but I never really got very far. And so I decided, well, I'll just, on a whim, just do a comic. But it'll be fun. Whatever. And it started with the idea of Corrigan being a husky who lived with a pack of wolves, and the pack of wolves were all going to be old RPG characters of mine that I didn't really use anymore, but that I still liked the look and the feel of the characters. And it was going to be that he lived with them, and that occasionally Jin would show up and hang out and talk and whatever, and it was kind of a silly, not very serious idea. And as you might have noticed, it didn't really go that way once I started drawing it. It became about Tall, and the more I got into it, the more I liked the idea of the messenger, of the wolves serving the gods, and that's where the messengers came from. And Powers got in there, and Tall's design was sort of on a whim, and I ended up later on figuring out why he had red tips on his mane, scruff, whatever you want to call it. To be honest, I think that was sort of poking fun initially at sort of the more ridiculous character designs that some people come up with for wolves. So it was just sort of like, aha, look, he has red tips, but then it actually had a reason. Because Tall has always been a ridiculous character. He was initially an RPG character of mine, and he was a wolf with these adorable pink wings, like little fairy wings on his back, like Navi, and he was really super obnoxious, and everybody hated him. So that's how he got started. And Senna was originally Zygor's sister. They're in the RPG that I used to play them in. And let's see, Patrick used to be a completely different color, completely different, very, very different character. Silver was a very different character. She used to have Sean's head fluff. If you have read the comic for a while, then you've probably seen the old character sheets, and initially her character sheet still showed the head fluff, and I missed it so much that I gave it to Sean when I found out that he existed, because to be honest, I didn't know that Tall and Senna had another brother until Jin mentioned him to Tall, and I was like, oh, okay, get to make another brother, yay. Let's see what else. Jin has been a character of mine for a really long time, very, very long time. He's always been a fire spirit and fire related. He was initially came to a werewolf character of mine and would teach her how to use fire powers. Let's see, who else? Sorry, I'm looking at my poster on the wall with all the characters on it. Letty and Lewin were a random addition. I just wanted to. I did the sketch of these two wolves and decided they were twins, and one had facial scars, and the other one was clearly female and much smaller and lighter colored. Let's see, Corrigan. As I said, actually, if you go to my DeviantArt account, you can find the original sketches of Corrigan from 2004, I think. And I just wanted to do a husky character because everybody was doing husky characters at the time, and I really like huskies. And so he originally started off there and just sort of grew from there. Because I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but at the beginning of the comic, under his eyes, the markings, they've actually flipped since I started. Because I didn't like it that way. I ended up liking it because now he has the little one and then the big one. And when it started off, it was big and then little. Let's see. Who else? Who did I miss? Connor was never really a character. Degas, I've had in the works in my mind, for the comic for the last year and a half, 2 years. And at the time of recording this, TGP's 3rd birthday is just about a month away. It's September 30th, and then 3 days after that, it's my birthday, so I turned 21. I was talking to a reader about that earlier today, and I was all excited. I was like, woo, my birthday and TGP's birthday, woo! Yeah. Morgan, that's what I'm forgetting, Morgan. Morgan, she's awesome. I'm sorry, but Awesome Goddess had to make a ridiculously awesome character for her, just based on principle. She took me probably the longest to get her character design right, because I wanted her to be perfect. And I've talked to readers before about how the characters are sort of in my head, which sounds crazy, but I promise it's not. It's not crazy. I'm not crazy. Hopefully. And she has always been very demanding about her presence in the comic and how perfect she has to be. I don't think there were any other questions that I can think of other than it seems the video I just posted, which is from my webcam that I record these from, pointed at my computer at an awkward angle of me drawing the first panel from the latest page. Seems to be getting some pretty good reception from you guys. And I promise you, I'm learning that when you record yourself drawing and then you speed it up, you look really awesome. You should try it, because I don't look that impressive normal speed. Really. I watched myself for a long time now. It's really not that impressive. So if you want to look really cool with your art, record yourself and speed it up. It looks really, really awesome. I think I'm going to have to try it on sketching sometimes, because I am very curious to know what my sketching looks like super fast. So, yeah, better end this before it gets too long.